Office hours at the Sawtooth National Recreation Area are temporarily reduced due to limited resources and staffing shortages. Now, this comes after the U.S. Forest Service lost over 3,400 workers because of federal cuts. Bringing in Abby Wilt now, you've learned this is mainly impacting Stanley and Ketchum, right?
Hunter, that's right. 3 ranger districts in the recreation area will not be open until June 16th. And once they do open, it'll only be for 3 days a week.
This summer is going to be a new normal, at least for the time being.
A new normal for the Sawtooth National Recreation Area, or SNRA, as they navigate losing a third of their staff due to federal cuts.
They've got about 10 full-time non-firefighting staff now.
Josh Johnson from the Idaho Conservation League says those 10 full-time staff will monitor over 750,000 acres of land in the Sawtooths.
It takes a lot of staff to manage that.
The staffing shortage is causing 3 of the SNRA ranger offices to now sit empty until at least June 16th.
It's a big change from it being open basically every day of the summer. And we do get a lot of visitors interested in talking to rangers, finding out current conditions, where they can camp, all these sorts of questions that people might have.
Idaho's Congressman Mike Simpson went to Stanley Saturday, says he's the first to say these closures are a concern.
When visitors come, they know what they can have access to, what's allowable, what you shouldn't do, and those kind of things is important.
Employees at the Forest Service do tasks like cleaning campsite bathrooms and monitoring trails.
It's important that we maintain these lands.
Without those employees, Johnson says he's not sure how the forest will hold up.
I don't think we've seen the worst of it yet. They've lost their trail crew, they've lost their wilderness rangers, they've lost their private land specialists, all these really important staff.
With over 3,400 Forest Service employees getting laid off nationwide due to the federal cuts, Johnson says Idahoans, especially those who recreate outside, are going to start seeing the effects on their public lands.
They're not just a line item in the budget, they're real people with real jobs that they really cared about and doing really important work.
Simpson says while there isn't a clear solution, he's going to do what he can as a state representative.
I am a little concerned about what's going on in some areas within the last few months, particularly the Forest Service and the number of people that have been laid off. We're going to get into their budget in the next couple of weeks to try to address that.
He says public lands are a priority and need to be saved.
This is not going to be destroyed in the next several years before I die.
Johnson says the Idaho Conservation League is training volunteers to fill the gaps and also encourage campers and recreationalists to do their part.
Just be mindful of a couple things and try to put in a little extra effort to take care of the land.
So Idahoans can continue to enjoy the real gems of the gem state.
The SNRA, it is kind of one of the crown jewels of Idaho's public lands. It is a really, really special place. And it's under a lot of threat right now.
And specific hours for the recreation area offices haven't been released yet for when they are set to open June 16th.
I know this is a challenging situation, but is there any way that people can jump in and help?
Right, so the Idaho Conservation League is training volunteers to kind of come in and fill the gaps on some of those essential jobs. We'll have the link with more information for that on our website at ktvb.com.
Also a good idea, pick up your trash, right? Thank you, Abby.